Progress.
So we're on day 35 in the course of love, and the title is Being a Creator in Unity and Relationship. Anyone, who is that, Kevin, first on your screen?
Alison, you ready for reading?
Me? Oh, yeah, I'll read. Yeah. In your relationship to God, who is your being,
I love this.
you can know relationship to everything because in this one relationship, you are in relationship with all. Thus, you need not become a world traveler, a joiner, an activist. You simply must become aware of all that you are.
Mhm.
In this fullness of being, there is only love. In this fullness of being is found the means for the extension of love. In this fullness of being is found the cause for love. Means and end are one. Cause and effect the same. Fullness of being is thus the answer that you have sought and that you have always possessed. This fullness of being is different for each one of you because it is the cause and effect, the means and end of relationship. You have always existed in relationship with God, who is your being.
Mhm.
But while it has been said that you are one in being and different in relationship, relationship is also God.
Mhm.
God is the relationship of everything to everything.
Gosh, this is so loaded here, isn't it?
Mm.
This is incredible sentence right at the beginning. In your relationship to God, who is your being. What is God? Your being.
Being in relationship.
Yes. And then he says, you have always existed in relationship with God, who is your being. It's almost like an explanation what God is, your being. Thanks for reading so slowly. That really makes such a difference.
Mm.
Mm. Anything to share on this?
So there's a paragraph that talks about the end of relationship. I can't find it.
You say the end of relationship.
Yeah.
End of relationship. What do you mean by that?
Yeah.
There it is in second, third paragraph, halfway down. The fullness of being is different for each one of you because it is the cause and effect, the means and end of relationship.
The means and end.
The means and of relationship. Okay.
Is that what it was, Sam?
Yeah. I think I had misread it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I can
so the
understand.
fullness of being is different for each one of you because it is the cause and effect, the means and end of relationship.
Mm-hmm.
What is he saying though?
Means and
Different.
end means the method and the result, kind of. Oh, that's sort of a very coarse
It's different for
explanation.
each one. When it says that the fullness of being is different for each one of you because it is the cause and effect. Why does it write like that?
Well,
Different
I have something that, like I was talking about earlier, with to just sort of put it like a bunch of people who are on drugs and have friends who are street people are living in my building and stuff. So this was reminding me, like in two earlier, Cole, when you were talking about, you know, like when you see the Christ in the other person, I started to think, like, what if, like, and this does go to like means and end. What if those people in bodies are there, put it just put it simply, there to kind of annoy me so that I am brought back to my real self of God, and or like to join this group especially today because I was just so upset and all this stuff. So so the Christ in them in this situation is the, what would it be, the means, like the angst in that situation that they have caused for me or at me. But in the big picture, it's also helping me to grow. So that's where
Beautiful.
sort of means and the ends. I have to see both, not only their personhood, who is just, they're just in trouble, they're on drugs and stuff, like they're in trouble, but, and they're annoying lots of people in the building. But that annoyance, it is what I do with it and how I process it, both with my head and my heart, that bring me to the next stage of really being like being God. And that, like Cole says a lot, that doesn't mean just sort of the pretty stuff, or I'm not supposed to be a saint, but it's that realization that I am both spirit, which is all encompassing, in God, my being, and I'm a person right now in a body. So oh, it's not, it's not what at least most of us want to hear. We want to have, friends and have quote unquote like nice times. And, it was a difficult situation, many of them for me, but it's also helping me to grow.
Yeah, so in your relationships, it creates in you some kind of tension, right? Discomfort.
Yep.
And what is your relationship to that discomfort?
Well, that's it. Do I
Yes.
want that, or is peace my goal? Yeah.
No. What is your
Oh,
relationship to that? You can talk it out of
oh,
out of it, but the truth is,
oh.
you have a relationship with discomfort that's not very
Mm-hmm.
comfortable.
Yes.
So instead of trying to sort out those people next door, you start sorting out your relationship to that feeling of discomfort.
Uh-huh.
So it's like,
Nice.
oh, discomfort, because it's that discomfort that drew to yourself the reality you find yourself in. See, because feelings
Yes.
are magnetic and they will draw to themselves whatever is denied.
Mm-hmm.
See? So
Yeah.
So if you begin to see that you within yourself divide yourself in two sections, the part of you that's good and part of you that's annoyed.
Mm-hmm.
The good one is trying to get rid of the annoyance. But right now, you split yourself in two camps and create duality within yourself.
Uh-huh.
You see? So now you have two.
Yeah.
There's a two of you now, you, the good one, and this bad feeling.
Right.
So the atonement actually is becoming one with everything, where you have because you have a relationship to this feeling, yeah, which is still relationship. It's just not good.
Right.
So how would you befriend a feeling like that? Because it's your feeling, it's not your neighbor's. You got to bring it home and see, this is my feeling, which I within myself hate.
Right.
First, you need to admit that you hate it. Be honest. Don't try to be nice and spiritual. You go like, wow, I really hate it. Yeah, exactly. See, it brings a joy in you. Immediately brings a joy. Because in spirituality, there is so much bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, we try to deny everything. We're trying to be these holy people. And yet inside, we're suffering with the neighbors and with the health problems and this and that. So you got to be honest and see that you hate this part of you that these guys came to graciously trigger in you.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
Beautifully put. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you feel like the energy begins to move in you?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Because you're no longer going against it. You're going with it. Beautiful.
Right.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. See, that's resurrection. Okay,
Wow.
right? Can you feel it? Something's moving in you, right?
Oh, absolutely. It
Yeah.
goes to that.
I can feel it moving in you.
And we can feel it too. You see,
That
this is where we
sigh.
go on.
Yeah. Like, whew.
This is a fantastic example.
Thank
This is
you.
a fantastic example of denial. You know, we deny these things.
Right.
Then we're trying to shine light on it, and we're trying to bless it, and we're trying to, pray to it and bow down to it. We sing mantras to it, and we shine the light on it, and nothing changes. The neighbors are still disturbing you, right? Because, see, the forgiveness occurs when you've won with everything within yourself. That's forgiveness, not forgiving your neighbor. That's just too old, right?
Right.
Use your neighbor to trigger you. When he triggers you, you go, thank you, guys. Thank you so much. I am so grateful to you. You're triggering the fuck out of me. Right? You're triggering that part of me that's so holy until you come along. Yeah? Beautiful.
Absolutely.
Now you
Thank
go,
you.
okay, I need to, and how do you develop a relationship to someone? Let's say you and I are enemies. Yeah? So if I wanted to establish new relationship with you, so like I say, Annie, it's been pretty shitty between us. How about we become good friends again? And you say, okay, let's do that. That intention will draw us together. So equally with your feeling of discomfort, you go, sweetheart, let's be friends. You see? Let's unite. Let's add one. People hate when I used to say, when I was teaching course, I would say, at one man. They said, no, that's really atonement. I says, no, it's one. Become one again. It's really more correct way of saying it.
Also, Jesus says in the Course, atonement is undoing. And I have to look at, what am I doing? What is it I'm doing?
Yes. And
that I can undo, that I can just stop doing.
Beautiful. See, to me,
and I have to admit, Cole, every time you talk about atonement and all that stuff, I remember Teddy talking about atonement is undoing. It's not like he really railed against that idea of at-one-ment. And every time you bring it up in that way, I get a little bit irritated, which is fine.
Yes.
It's my irritation.
Yes.
But I wanted to say that. I just wanted to say that atonement is undoing,
Mm-hmm.
and it is. That's what A Course in Miracles is all about: is undoing the old thought system,
Yes.
undoing,
But you're not
undoing.
doing the separation within yourself, where you're no longer in
Yeah,
conflict. And if you are in conflict, you
yeah,
got to stop. And Jesus says, look at your illusions, because by not looking, they'll stay protected.
Mm.
We look at this, and you got to engage this feeling around, because what are they doing? They're triggering a feeling in you, and you want to forgive them because you don't want to feel this thing. But you don't realize is that feeling draw them to you, because he wants you to add one with yourself, so there is no two.
That was brilliant. Yep. Yeah. Thank you for helping me to see.
Yes. No, thank you for being open to it, because
yeah.
this is a tricky thing. People can heavily defend against this, because the ego is so protected, and anything that brings this kind of at-one-ment, that you actually feel the feeling, like we all a few of us said to you, like, we can really feel you moving, right?
Yeah.
That's when we no longer static, we become this is the elevated self of form, what you just felt.
Mm.
And that can become a constant, because any feeling that arising from anything that's happening around you is constantly in a flow. It's not stopped. It's like, oh,
Right.
let's push this down. I am the Holy Son of God. Hello, everyone. Right? And underneath, you have this rotten,
Well, I
greed.
kind of stopped at the blessedness of them triggering me. Like that's kind of where I stopped, and you showed me it was like, oh, what are they triggering in me? And
Bingo.
that's what I need to forgive and know that it never really was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah. Merci beaucoup.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, thank you for that. You kind of opened up something, and I realized that this paragraph is also talking about that the fullness of being is different for each one, because everyone is within this whole thing. The whole of humanity is one thing.
Yes.
So each of you, because it is the cause and effect, the means of, and that whole population, that whole thing is means to an end
Yes.
for something. So you have always existed in relationship with God, who is your being. So that's,
Mm-hmm.
but while it has been said that you are one in being a different in relationship also God. God is the relationship of everything to everything.
Everything.
So yeah, so any just help me see. It's not just your neighbors in apartment, but it's the whole entire thing. It's
Yes.
the means to an end. People can be at different levels, but it's a
Yes.
means to an end
It also
for that
doesn't say
owner.
it also doesn't say good relationship or bad relationship.
No.
With a relationship. And so sometimes we don't have a good relationship to someone. That's still a relationship. I think sometimes, oh, I'm no longer with the relationship in a relationship with this person. Yes, you are. You are forever
Yeah.
in a relationship with that person. It's just not a good relationship. You want to heal it? What are you going
Nothing
to
is
do about it?
excluded.
Right.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That's
I
really
think the
good,
next,
isn't it?
yeah.
And then, the Course says, you're not even in a relationship to you, but you're in a relationship to someone else being in a relationship. If you watching it, it's part of your relationship to that relationship. Can you see?
Yes. And sometimes you don't have to be like, oh, I'm in a relationship with everybody in the world. just one person here connects you to everything.
Yes.
Just like a piece in a jigsaw puzzle, you know.
Beautiful.
It's just about the same. I realize like the person next to you we interact with is part of that.
Yes.
And just saying, oh, a relationship with everybody, it's okay, but doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
You know, but that one person, because Christ is everyone, right? So
Yes.
if you connect with the Christ in any one way, you're connecting with everyone.
That's it. That's like
Mhm.
this, that's what the Course of Love says, every living being has a heart. For me, that was like wow. Imagine feeling
Same way.
everyone's heart. Annie, feeling the heart of these guys next door. Just feeling their heart and see nothing else. Don't look at what they do. We just see that they have a heart. And when you do that, you can only do that with your own heart. And heart never goes into a war. Only mind goes into a conflict. Anyway, before I say anything else, shall we go on? Jesus. Who's next, Kevin?
Your next call.
Am I? Jesus. Allison's already got her ears pricked, kind of like, let me see where he's gonna. Anyway.
I just want to say one more little thing, one more little thing about the end of this. I just hear him saying, really, if you want to fix all your relationships, just be in a relationship with God. Just go to your fullness of, and it will be like, if you can.
Yes.
Obviously, it's not necessarily easy, but
yeah, but it takes a practice. Like Allison, just look at Sam and just see God in him. You see that? Hang on a Sam.
But
Hang on, Sam. Can you see that, Allison?
oh, that's irritating me. It's funny. I'm feeling very irritated this morning. I think I would find it easier to go to God and see Sam.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
That's two ways of doing it. One is
Yeah.
through and one is above. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And now you see it, right?
Yeah.
And what are you looking at with?
What do you mean? What
Like,
am I looking?
how do you see it? What's your experience when you see him as God?
He's part of the oneness that we all are.
Mm-hmm. And and you see only that, because the form will talk and the ideas will clash, and that will create irritation.
Yeah.
But seeing the Christ the other, it will generate a state in which none of this crazy thought comes in, that judgment cannot enter into that realm. But it does take a little practice.
It does take a little practice, probably a little more than
Yes, it's a wonderful practice to really, actually, I do it every time I go to a supermarket. I see little kids or anyone, just like, there it is, seeing the Christ. And the minute I see it, my whole body lights up. It's a selfish act. Seeing the God in everyone, it brings me into light. Yeah. As you see him, so you see yourself. Anyway, all right, let's go. You have known yourself in relationship to yourself and others without realizing that your being is God, that others are one with you, that God is the relationship of everything to everything, or that you are the relationship of everything to God. Everything that is shared with God is shared with all, because God is in relationship with everything. it has been said that when you reach awareness of a state of unity, you cannot not share. And this is why. How beautiful is that? So you might ask, was it once possible for you to be unaware of your being, that you are not sharing the relationship of everything with God? As long as you have known that you are a self, as long as you have been aware of your own existence, you have been aware of God. Your awareness of self is God. God's awareness of you is self, capital S. This awareness exists in reciprocal relationship. Beautiful. I'm done.
Sam, you next.
How is knowing this going to be of practical benefit to you as you leave the mountaintop experience behind? This question has been asked. This question has been asked in this way in order to remind you that while you will return to level ground, you will also retain the mountaintop experience. As was said before, the mountain came to you. You will thus always have the power to call upon the mountaintop experience and the view of wholeness we have achieved here. You will carry it with you. And when you feel not its power, you will be able to call it forth simply by asking for it to be so. What we speak of when speaking of your return to level ground is returning in calm, even and equal manner to the most elemental and fundamental aspects of being human, while carrying within you a very elemental and fundamental idea. The idea that you are one in being and different in relationship. The idea that you return to your humanity with is an idea. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
My screen just went blank. The idea that you return to your humanity with is an idea of oneness come to replace an idea of separation, an idea of sameness come to replace an idea of specialness, an idea of accomplishment and union here and now come to replace all ideas of life after death. But I don't think I read that paragraph well, so somebody can reread it.
Evan? Okay. Who's next?
Annie. Annie's next.
Okay. We're on 8, right?
Yep.
These are ideas that take the way in which you once related to life and shift it entirely. How appropriate. Because the way in which you relate to life is what has caused life to be as it has been. The shift will cause life to be different, or, in other words, new. Ideas are neither learned nor accomplished. They simply are. They thus take no time to learn and require no steps to accomplishment. They can be lived immediately. No intermediary is needed. No tools are needed. All that is needed is that you carry them within you in the way we have previously spoken of carrying. Boy. Carry them as a pregnant woman carries her child. Let them grow. Let them live. And give them life. Ooh. Tears of joy with that one. Giving ideas is the role of creatorship. As a creator of life, new life, your first creation is, in a sense, creation or recreation of yourself. This is why you return to the ground level of humanity with the heights of divinity fresh in your minds and hearts. This is why you return accepting of yourself rather than in a quest for self or with a desire to know a higher self. You return knowing you are one in being with your creator and accepting your power to create. You return to create unity and relationship through unity and relationship. One more. Only through unity and relationship are you able to be a creator. A new world can be created only in this way. A new world can only be created. To proceed relying upon anything other than your power to create would be to only attempt to repair or replace. I'll just read this last thing. Unity is oneness of being. Oh, unity is oneness of being. Relationship is different expressions of oneness of being. Oh my word.
Beautiful, huh?
Wow. That was so heartfelt and felt like it was written for me today. Wow. Thank you.
Thanks, Annie. Being a creator must begin with full realization of oneness of being, which is unity. Because without this full realization and potential, the potential exists for conditions other than love to exist. It should not take much consideration to know that to create from anything but love could have disastrous effects. This has been seen time and time again as you have created in separation. To create without the possibility of many expressions of creation would negate the purpose of creation, which is life in relationship, life in harmony, the experience and the expression of the one in and within the many. Creation has produced life through union and relationship. Humankind's unawareness of the union and relationship in which exists has produced the idea of the separation, has produced the idea of separation, while at the same time humankind's desire for separation produced unawareness of union and relationship. Now, humankind's desire for union and relationship has led to awareness of union and relationship, while at the same time, union and relationship has led to this desire. Creation itself, which stands apart from particulars but united with wholeness, has led to this time of opposites, becoming one and wholeness becoming actual rather than probable. Wholeness is actual. All that is left to be created is awareness that this is so. Back to you, Alison.
Oh, okay. Hey. If creation only occurs through unity and relationship, I'll say that again. If creation only occurs through unity and relationship, then the original creation must have occurred in this way. We will not return to previous discussions of original creation, but it must be thought of so that you understand creation. It has been said before that creation is continuous and ongoing. It is continuous and ongoing in everything that has been created, including you. This does not mean, however, that you have been a creator. Being a creator and creating anew is different than being affected by the ongoing nature of creation. Saying that you have been affected by creation, however, is also not the entire story, for as has been said many times, means and end are one, cause and effect the same. You have been creating, but relating to creation in separation. You have seen yourself as separate from creation and separate from all others. Thus, what you have created has stood apart from wholeness. What is not created in unity could be said to have been made rather than created. The world as you know it is what you have made. Your life as you know it is what you have made. Ugh. You will only fully realize the difference between what you have made and what you can create when you have accepted your power and begin to create in unity and relationship.
This reminds me of something that Paul Selig says is whatever we create out of fear brings us more fear.
Yeah.
Well, and it kind of brings up what it said earlier about like attempting to repair or replace. And I was thinking about, my situation today and how I was trying to repair the situation instead of finding the unity and the relationship within me and 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 all my oneness. So it's a whole different thing.
Mm-hmm.
That last paragraph I really kind of got. The world as I know it is what I have made. I got it at a new level anyway. My life as I know it is what I have made. Good and bad.
Is it my turn, did you say?
It's Cole's next.
Oh, sorry.
What are we on?
10,
Because 19.
because you are a creator.
Because you are a creator, you could not, however, not create. The word distinction between made and create does not fully do justice the power you have always retained. But creation in separation.
Creating.
Yes, thank you. But creating in separation is as different from creating in unity as has been your concept of God and man. Few of you have even thought of creating as God creates. You have barely been able to accept the thought of the miracle. And yet, you are not being called upon to create as you have been, but to create as who you truly are being.
Mm.
You are called to nothing short of creating a new heaven, a new earth. This does not, however, entail specificity.
Specificity.
Thank you. There's angels around me. Any more than the miracle does. It does not entail choice. That's cool. It is a way of being when you are fully aware of your oneness of being and begin to create in unity and relationship, you will do so simply being who you are being, just as you have created during the time of your separation by being who you have been thought yourself to be. Most of you are aware of having at least some role in creation of your life. You may feel that at times God has intervened, or that at times you have been a victim of fate, but you are also aware of the role you have had in your own life,
Primarily.
primarily as you have reached maturity and begun to make choices. While it has just been said that you will create in unity and relationship, much as you created during the separation, your creation in unity and relationship will be free of choice. Creation in unity and relationship is creation within the embrace of the all of all. How can you choose when what you create is everything?
Creation in unity and relationship is creation within the embrace of the all of all.
I was at breakfast with some friends the other day, and this one particular person has started bringing up strong opinions about politics, about good leaders and bad leaders, and good people and bad people, and, you know, in a very complaining way. And I remember saying, why do we keep looking to leaders to fix things? Why do we keep thinking we just have the right person, everything will be fine? As we got into a discussion, and somebody brought up, well, we're light workers, and we're and all this kind of stuff. And my friend Virginia just says, I was hearing about dung beetles. Anybody hear about? And she was explaining what dung beetles are. I don't know if they run around, I guess, on the prairie or whatever, and anytime some animal leaves some dung, they pick it up and roll it around and bury it. And this is what brings vegetation. It's like maybe we're just all supposed to be dung beetles, taking shit and turning it into something beautiful.
I love it.
And it doesn't take a leader, just bunch of little dung beetles.
I love the thing he keeps bringing up about the mountain came to us. I always wondered about, if Muhammad won't go to the mountain must come to Muhammad. I always wondered what that was. Anyway, I just find myself amused with it every time it comes up. And I do wonder if that's how it was meant in those old writings.
Well, I don't know. I think it comes back to that, like not trying to fix it and be like when I'm present with you all and what I heard you helping me to focus on, which was my feelings, and how I relate to them. Like everything changed. I didn't change it. I didn't fix it. I didn't try. It wasn't me making it better. It was something that came to me, through like all of you. So I don't know. I just see it as very simple and very easy it even said like accept or allow. When I allow that to happen in the present moment, ooh, miracles, the revelations, the beauty, the way I see things automatically just changes. Like it said, it's new. It's just totally new from an hour and a half ago. So yeah, for that I'm grateful. Thank you all.
It's really nice having you back in the group, Annie.
Thank you. Glad to be back. Oh.
You were made to come back.
Uh-huh.
That's all those neighbors are doing. Go back to that group, Annie.
Exactly. Leave us alone. Think of,
Yeah.
go within, find your own beauty and get back to us, when we can be one again in a different way. Yeah, in a new way. Huh. Lovely.
I often see these little things on narcissists, like people explaining what narcissists are,
Uh-huh.
how to recognize them. And there's always this thing is like, you got to have a look at one thing. Why are these guys around you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Why is a narcissist? Like when you find your own inner narcissist, we all have one, I think. When you find one and you go like, oh shit, and you accept it. You accept it. We have these little human traits we've learned from others. We have them, but acceptance heals them. Yeah. And once that is accepted, that the narcissists are no longer reflecting to you any of those qualities that you are so sure it's part of them. Yeah. I think it's like that with everything. The world. That's why we got to look at what's in our immediate vicinity. Begin to forgive that, work on that, rather than trying to change the world to observe what's going on in the world, and rather than looking what's happening in my sphere specifically. Yeah, beautiful, darlings. Well, thank you for coming. And
oh, thank you all.
Yeah, start the next one because it's long. One is enough. This was beautiful.
Yeah.
It's
enough.
Yes, for sure. I love this one, particularly that beginning where I remember reading that a few years back, and it just really hit me. It's like, in your relationship to God, who is your being? It was like, holy mackerel, like, jeez, is your being. Anyway, that was an eye-opener. All right, sweethearts. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you all.
I
will be back next week, as far as I can tell. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, everyone.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.